position. Okay, so the first thing we said about setup, we want to try and avoid the arms and the clubbing in a straight line, okay?
Yeah.
But try and build up your setup, putting the club down first behind the ball, in the correct angle it needs to be, okay? You would tend to sort of setting up a bit too high up here.
Yep.
Don't go too much the other way where you get too low. Obviously then you get too close to the ball. Make sure we find that position with the angle there. So grip the club there. And your legs at this point will be fairly straight when the club's going down. So you're creating your spine angle to do that. Then the last thing will be then you set your feet in position. We can see those two positions there now from right to left. That one on the right hand side, a much better angle. Arms are beneath your shoulders a lot more. You've got more control.
Yeah.
You can swing the club more. There's a lot less tension up in your back of your shoulder blades. As a result, as we said, we're using the golf club back now. We're getting this golf club now further back in the backswing. So we're creating more power as the club gets taken away. Whereas previously, where there's a very limited wrist hinge, you couldn't sort of hinge your wrist, you couldn't turn your shoulders. So the swing was a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Okay, you couldn't make as full a backswing. So therefore, in some ways, to try and get your 200 yards,
yeah.
you were trying to whack it as hard as you could.
Yes.
And if you try to do that, lose control of the ball, then going right, left, all
Yep.
over the place, not going to be a very pretty shot on a consistent basis. So now in a good position, we can rotate. You can see now your lower half, because your better backswing now can work. Your knees and hips are starting to rotate now, clearing out the way. Good strike at the point, coming back at the club now. Middle of the club, middle of the golf ball. Arms are getting close. That right elbow now is a little bit more flex, as we can see. It's not straighting out
Yes.
too much. You can actually see a gap there sort of between the arms, which is good. It shows the club's coming back nice on the correct path. You're not reaching your arms up, and therefore we can square the club face up. Ball, as we can see now, sort of sailing towards the fairway there, nice and straight and rotating through. I think in practice and over time, that foot will start moving more.
Yes.
Once it gets used to being able to do it.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's never done it before because it's never been able to do it in the first place. Now it can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting used to that rotation. As I said, make sure when you swing those hips, as we rotate them back, we don't just drag the club way on the inside. Your arms are still working back on the same angle that you create anyway, up to the top of the right shoulder there. That's a good backswing, but don't try and get more rotation and let the club then sort of get too low and really low behind you. Okay, we're not changing the arm swing, we're just getting the body to rotate.
Yeah.
The arms just still follow that as they go back. Does that make sense, yeah?
It does, yeah.
Good stuff. I can have a couple more then, and then we'll have a look-see.